All right, so I want to talk about a subject here, kind of just I guess a random video you could say, but I mean, I haven't really covered this too much, but I mean, it is a channel where I cover a wide variety of things. So, dating, a big thing in the world, of course, is dating. So, this is coming from a guy who's in college right now. Just giving my thoughts on dating. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm in college right now. And from my point of view, at my life right now, I work, not like 80 hours a week or anything like that, but I mean, I work, a good amount, 30, 40 hours a week. And of course, I go to school most of the year. I am on summer break right now, which is nice, but, I still work a lot and I'm still pretty freaking busy. Even when I do have, school, I still work. So, I mean, I'm a decently busy guy. Especially, a lot of people, will hang out with their girlfriend or their, boyfriend on the weekends. Because that's usually the time nobody's at work. But I work a lot on the weekends. Like today. I got up at 11. I got to work at 11:30 today. And now I'm just getting out at like 5:45. So, I mean, it's kind of difficult to hang out when I like I said, I work a lot on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm usually never off during the week. It's given usually I'm working during the weekend. And then, during, Monday through Friday, of course, most people, like I said, have school, have work, and you might be able to hang out a little bit. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of difficult for me, if I had a girlfriend. And I don't right now, I'm single. If I had a girlfriend right now, it'd just be difficult to hang out. And even if I did have time to hang out, I'm usually working. I usually have like Monday off. I sometimes do though. That's the other thing. With my job, a lot of times my boss will just call me the day before or even the day of and say, hey, can you work a few hours or can you work, it's kind of unpredictable, my schedule. I don't have set days where I work. So it's very difficult for me, to commit to a relationship at this point in my life right now. And like I said, when I get home from work, like right now I'll probably get home around 6:15, 6:30. It's like, I don't really feel like driving fucking 30 minutes out to, to pick somebody up and then, whatever. It's just a lot of fucking work to commit to. And is it really worth it? I'm thinking, in my life right now, if I were to, have a girlfriend, I'd prefer to hang out with her more than like once a week for a few hours. I'd really like to hang out with her for, a few times a week, hopefully. Because, it just seems kind of pointless to have a relationship where you're only hanging out once a week or very little. And like I said, I'm kind of busy. It's not like I have a lot of time to hang out. And, it's just something, like I said, with work and school. It's just hard, after you get off of work, sometimes you just feel like sitting on your ass and doing what you want. But then, if you have a girlfriend, you got to go hang out with them. You got to commit, time out of your life to them. And maybe it's just best, I think it's best right now in my life to, be single. And maybe if I found a girl who lived, close, maybe it would be worth it. But like I said, at this point in my life, I'm not really worried about getting a girlfriend. And the thing about getting a girlfriend is, especially at this point in your life, or if you're in high school, it's not really something at that point in your life, you say, oh, I'm going to marry this girl. You might be saying that, but realistically, that's, let's just face it, most high school relationships don't really end up with a happy marriage. You'll usually break up for whatever reason. So, like I said, I'd say it's better in my life right now to, worry about work, working, making some money, going to college, getting a decent education, and then hopefully getting a good job. I just think it's better for, if you have a girlfriend too, that you're living together, or like I said, seeing each other a lot. because it can be hard if you don't see each other a lot. You know, I really fail to see how people, you know, would do a long distance relationship. I will never do one of those. I think those only end in disaster. And not being able to see somebody, it's like I could never fucking do that shit. But to each is his own, I guess. But you know, but that's kind of my view on relationships right there. You know, again, this is coming from my perspective, and it just can be difficult to hang out. You know, if you don't live together. For people who, you know, have work, have college, you know, have whatever going on, to coordinate your schedules to where you could hang out. I don't know. It's like, is it worth it? Or is it just worth, you know, or should you just be single and do what you want? It's kind of better like that. Because like I said, a relationship, it can be a pretty big fucking commitment. I mean, money, time, energy. It's a lot. It's a big commitment. And sometimes it's better to have the freedom of being single. You know, having the freedom of doing what you want. You know, like I get off work, so I'm single. I can really do what I want. I don't have to, you know, if your girlfriend says, "Oh, do you want to hang out?" and you just feel like fucking sleeping or just kind of chilling out and not really doing anything. You can't really say no. I don't want to hang out. You know, I just don't. You know, it's something that, you know, wouldn't really work. Oh no, I don't want to hang out. Oh, why not? What do you got going on? Oh, nothing. I just don't. You know, that's kind of a dick move right there. So that's kind of what I'm saying. If you can't give 100%, if you're not gonna, you know, it's kind of just worth, you know, being single at this point in my life. And again, if you know, maybe if I could find something that's perfect, you know, where the girl lives fairly close and I don't have to drive fucking like 30 minutes to go and see her, or, you know, 30-40 minutes, it would be worth it. But, you know, like I'm not stressing out about getting a girlfriend at this point in my life, or getting a relationship. So, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on that. And again, everybody has their own preferences, you know, over what they want. And you got to look at the quality of the girl too. You know, is she a nice person? Is she what you're looking for in a woman, for a companion, or vice versa if you're a girl? You got to look at those, you know, factors too, you know, whether or not, you know, that girl is what you're looking for. You know, is her personality good? And let's face it, people, I mean, to date somebody, you at least have to be fairly attracted to that person. I mean, a lot of people will go on here and say, oh, you know, fat girls are sexy. You know, you don't want to date a fat girl. You can't handle a fat girl. You know, all this bullshit like that. And many people just don't find fat people attractive. You got to find somebody you find physically attractive. You know, I hate when people, you know, get mad at people because they find some girl attractive. Like, that's kind of biology. It's human fucking nature. And that's why girls date guys and guys usually date girls, because, you know, of course, there's people who are bisexual and whatever, but that's usually how it works, because, again, it's just who you find attractive. You know, if we didn't go by looks, I mean, shouldn't everybody just be bisexual then? You know, I just don't get those people who say, oh, you know, you can't, you got to date somebody just on personality, not on looks. Well, then do you date girls then? You know, or do you date both sexes? I just never got that. You know, because, I mean, you gotta, you know, kiss that person. You gotta do stuff with that person. And like I said, you should be attracted to that person physically. And not only physically, but personality-wise as well. I mean, that's part of the attraction, too. I mean, it's hard to date a girl if she's not a nice girl. Even if she is hot, you know, even if she is cute, if you don't mesh well with her, then don't date her. It's not worth it. You know, it's not going to work out. You know, okay, you know, you're in fucking high school. Oh, I'm dating the hottest girl. You know, it might, again, that could be a short-term thing where you're dating, oh, I'm dating a hot girl. But I mean, in the long term, it's just not going to work out, people. Just because somebody's hot, you know, it's not all about sex and shit. So, but there you go, people. That's kind of my thoughts on dating, and kind of, again, coming from a perspective of mine, a guy who's in college right now, a guy who works a decent amount, and a guy who has a decent amount of shit going on in his life. Like, basically summing up, at this point in my life, it's kind of hard to commit to a relationship. And even, like, I don't want to have a relationship where I only see somebody once a week because, our schedules don't match up, or it's just difficult to hang out. I just don't think it's worth it. But like I said, to each is his own. So, do what you want. But it's just coming from my perspective here. So there you go, people.